That's What He Said with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut. Deadass.
Welcome to another episode of That's What I Said with Cedric Sanders.
Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filters. This broadcast starts now.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. We in here. Why you quiet over there?
I was just getting ready to say something. Whatever.
Get on it. Get on it.
What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? Thanks for tapping in and tuning in with us for another episode of That's What I Said. We are live and direct from Studio B. Let's go. What's popping over there? What can we bring to the table today for the discussion for our listeners?
Well, just for the listening public, for those that don't know what this is, y'all know what it is. That's What I Said podcast, live and direct on all social media platforms, including YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Making a move. Gonna be doing some lives on Instagram as well. The new year is gonna be a new us when it comes to this podcast. I'm telling y'all, it's about to get ignorant. I'm just gonna say that. I'm taking a leap of faith, and I'm doing a lot of stuff in the background. But yeah, it's about to take off. But tonight is the last episode for 2023.
It's crazy.
The last episode of 2023. I will not be doing a podcast next week because that's the day after my birthday. And speaking of birthdays, so shout out to my wife. She literally surprised me. My boy Oyama. Speaking of birthdays, my boy from down there in the boot to my wife. In boy, he down from Louisiana. What's good, bro? Surprised me. My homeboy, my boy Oyama, in the Navy with in Hawaii. My boy from down there in the boot down there in boy, he down from Louisiana. What's good, bruh? But homeboy, shout out to my wife. Was in the Navy with in Hawaii. This Saturday, I had a surprise. My brother, boy, birthday celebration. Shout out to my wife, 50th celebration. This Saturday, I had a surprise. It was off the chain. I mean, it was off the chain. I definitely had some birthday celebration to spend it with and everything. I know a lot of people that are my friends that's gonna listen to this. Be like, it was off the chain. Come to Virginia. It was off the chain. I definitely had some good people to spend it with and everything. I know a lot of people that are my friends that's gonna listen to this. Be like, I didn't get an merch store. I'm gonna come to Virginia anyway. The link is in the description of this live. Yes, sir. Yes, Facebook. Sir. Please do. It's also in the description when you go to the merch store on YouTube as well. Join the YouTube page. Link is in the description. That's what I said. Live. If you're looking at it on Facebook, and please make sure that in the description you do your boy a favor on YouTube. And if you're viewing me on Facebook, I know you're gonna be in and out. You got your own. That's what I said. Take some time and please make sure download the podcast app. Regardless of what phone you have, rather it's Android or Apple. Facebook, I know you're gonna be in and out. You got your own thing. Do a search for That's What I Said, or go on Spotify. Spotify.
Download a podcast app.
That's what I said.
Regardless of what phone you have,
go to
whether it's
Spreaker,
Android or Apple.
SPR.
Download their podcast app. Do a search for That's What I Said. Or go on
their
Spotify
podcast app.
Type on That's What I Said.
Or
you will get a notification when I go live.
SPR.
And if you listen to the podcast after live, download their podcast app. Download the other podcasts, which you will get a notification when I go live. Apple, and if you listen to the podcast notification when the episode uploads, download the other podcast when I'm live. You can only catch me on social media, or you can listen to me live on the Spreaker. You'll get a notification when the episode whatever way is easier for you. That's the thing. I'm cool live. You can only catch me on social media, or you can listen to me live on the Spreaker. My 50th birthday. My birthday's not until Christmas. Is easier for you. But I'm cool with it. Celebrated on Saturday. But anyway, a good time. Had a taco bar. So Saturday celebrated my 50th birthday. Beverages, if you will. My birthday's not until Christmas. And it was celebrated on Saturday. It was a good time. Had a taco bar.
Right. Had a couple special guests.
Yeah, had some special guests. Shout out to my brother Eli, my brother, and it was my blood brother Kevin came down and everything. So it was good. I mean,
special guests.
Hey, had some special guests. Shout out to my brother Eli, my brother stopped by. My blood brother Kevin came down. Oh, y'all know. Man, it was good. I mean, hey, yes. Speaking of people I was in the Navy with. My brother, man, it was just it was a good times. I had my brother David Simpson and Yama. I know Yama know who he is. Yeah, his wife Monica had Simpson was in the building. Leah. Yeah, man, it was a good times. I had my brother David and his fiance. Man, Mo. It was good times. Yeah, his wife Monica had Mo and Aaliyah. Had his brother.
I'm glad it turned out the way
his fiance
did, and
it was good times.
The special guests arrived
on time.
Yeah, accordingly. I'm glad it turned out and the way they actually surprised you. And that the special guests, arrived. You were able to accordingly in your 50th party. And they actually surprised you. Just enjoy yourself and have a good time.
Oh yeah, it was good. It was definitely good. Moving on to
in your 50th party
merch. Right. I have three new sweatshirts.
Enjoy yourself and have a good time.
It was good. It was definitely last week. Moving on to, I completely forgot about it. Merch. So that's my apology. I have I'm hitting the go button that I'm dropping. First thing tomorrow. So they're all black hoodies with white lettering on it. Completely forgot about it. The rest of the merch is on there as well. So beginning of the year, I will be adding more merch. First thing tomorrow, and so they're all black hoodies with white lettering on it. Yeah, man, the rest of the merch is on there as well. I think it's always good when you beginning of the year. I will be adding more merch. Spend some time with your family and your friends. Yes, sir. Just, yeah, man. I think it's always good in celebration. You know what I'm saying? It's 50 years, especially. You know what I'm saying? And even if it's just not 50 years, it's just getting together with your brothers, people that you love, people that you actually confide in, and in celebration. You know what I'm saying? 50 years, especially. Giving them flowers, because that's our big thing. And even if it's just not 50 years, it's just getting together with your brothers, people that you love, but the merch, actually confide in. Cop the merch, please. It only some time with them and show them enhances the podcast. Give me flowers, better, that's our big thing. Giving each other our flowers. But the merch more frequently, and the merch, please. It only being on more frequently enhances the podcast, makes it better, so that I get a bigger reach, so that I get more merch and have be on more frequently, which is what I'm going to be doing next year. Me being on more frequently, it gives me the ability. I was really focused on just the business side of it and building that up, and now that the business giveaways, which is what I'm going to be doing next year. I'm supposed to start doing it this year, but the rest of the projects that I got, just the business side of it and building that up. And now 2024 is going to be a big year for That's What I Said LLC. That's What I Said podcast, as well as the rest of the projects that I got. Things that we are developing. 2024 is going to be a big year for That's What I Said LLC. That's What I Said podcast, as well as please make sure y'all things that we are developing that will be dropping in early 2024. I'm being good, so I'm limiting the profanity. Y'all I don't follow your boy and support them. Associate that side of me. And I'm not being good. I'm limiting the profanity, great information, and they want their teenagers or whatever the case may be to listen. That side of me, it's good enough. Not want to listen to the podcast, or you don't have to. It's great information, and they want their teenagers or whatever the case may be to listen. So it's just so you know, good enough. Say some shit that's probably not necessarily going to be. Oh my lord, I can't believe he said what he said. The best of that's why it's called That's What I Said. Don't like someone that cursed. Just so you know, that's just a personal thing that's probably not necessarily going to be judge a book by its cover. For the best of those that don't like someone that cursed. Anyway, to me, that's just moving forward thing. And tonight's topic, a book by its cover.
Right, exactly.
But
That's just what
tonight's topic.
Anyway,
is,
so moving forward,
it's the Narrative Academy.
Tonight's topic: transforming words into worlds.
Tonight's topic is. I wanted to talk about narratives because transforming.
This is something I think I constantly heard in 2023.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I wanted to talk about narratives
constantly.
Because,
and I think this is something
a great
I think
podcast
I constantly heard in 2023 with.
Yeah.
Constantly.
That word was
because
being
of this.
used like
constantly. And I think this
a lot
is
of times
a great podcast to end 2023
Let me do this. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me do this.
And because of
For
this.
people to understand what narrative
a lot of times
you have to break down.
So let me do this. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me do this.
Narrative
for people
really,
to understand what
breaks
narrative
down.
It opens up your mind to understand kind of how
narrative.
Certain businesses, certain companies, radio stations,
Narrative really
it breaks down.
Industry,
it opens up your mind to understand kind of how
the stock market,
certain businesses, certain companies,
comedians,
radio stations,
that nature.
This is how people
entertainment
gather their
industry,
cryptocurrency. It's
the stock market,
it's interpreting stories. You have to understand things of that nature. This is how people gather their material. Period. It's interpreting stories.
Or you have
to understand
the narratives in
story
those
different
told.
kind of forms, like
right.
film.
Period.
You know, the things I was just talking about,
Conversation,
social media.
I forgot. I don't even know how I forgot
those different
I was
forms
just
of
gonna
like
say, social
film,
media, the biggest narrative
the
out
things
there.
I was just talking
And
about.
I have a
conversation,
may not be
social
true,
media.
may not be,
I forgot. I don't even know how I forgot
listen
social
to the
media.
podcast.
Social media, I know what it is,
say,
especially those that listen.
Social media, the
to me
biggest
live on
narrative
speaker.
out there.
Right.
And I have a comment. May not be true,
Narrative
may not be, but if y'all follow me and listen to the podcast,
where
y'all know what it is,
story.
especially those that listen to me live on
Or
speaker.
it's understanding and enjoying the story. Narrative goes in a sense to where
Based
it is
on
a story, your culture, or it's understanding
Emotions.
and enjoying the story. Things of that nature, because these are the techniques that people use to create their narrative. Your culture, especially emotions,
Right.
so
things of that nature,
impact,
because these are the techniques that
really
people use
affects
to create
the
their
audience
narratives.
is being able to
Especially
appreciate
Right.
people that
So,
can go and tell
impact
stories
that really
and use those
affects
different
the
techniques,
audience,
such as
is
being
being
able to
getting at people's
appreciate,
emotions,
people
getting
that
to
can
go
to get the people
and tell
to
stories
and
be
use those
sympathetic
different
with you,
techniques,
or
such as
to
understand
getting at people's emotions,
what you may be going through,
getting
or it's
to
a cultural
to
thing.
get the people
whereas Black Lives Matter,
be
it could
sympathetic with you,
or to understand
Brown Pride. It could be
what you may be going through,
or it's a
no
cultural
Asian
thing.
hate. It's just different
whereas
things. People
Black Lives Matter
understand
it
these
could be,
narratives because it attaches to them.
Brown
in certain
pride, it
type
could
of
be
ways.
just
May not necessarily be
understanding
emotional and
and
no
be
Asian
cultural.
hate. It's just different things.
But at the same time, you have an
understand these
attachment to this.
narratives because
Right.
it attaches
Right.
to them.
So,
in certain type of ways, may not
the
necessarily be
breakdown,
emotional,
or
may
I should
be
say the
cultural,
building blocks, or
but at
the
the
same
same building
time,
blocks
you have an attachment
to
to this.
understanding a
Right.
narrative.
Right.
Is so. There's always a plot.
The
There's some
breakdown,
characters,
or
there's
I
some
should say the
type of
building blocks,
setting,
or the building
it's
blocks
just like the different
to understanding
things
a
that they
narrative
try to tell you
is
on how to write a
there's
book, or
always
how
a
to write a
plot.
story.
There's some characters. There's some
and it's
type
coming
of
from the
setting.
point of view of
It's just like
who
the
is telling the
different
story and
things
how
that
they
they
try to tell you
Right.
on how to write a
So
book or
the
how to write a story.
tone,
And it's coming
like
from the
different
point of
types of
view
flashbacks,
of
blah, 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 blah,
who is
right?
telling the story.
That's
and
not
how
the narrative
telling
I'm
it.
actually talking
Right.
about.
Right.
So the tone. I'm just giving you an understanding of what narrative is.
Different types of flashbacks.
That's not the narrative I'm talking about, right?
So what is
That's
the
not the
narrative
narrative I'm actually talking about.
What are you trying to say, Todd?
I'm just giving you an understanding of what narrative is. That's not the narrative I'm talking about.
motherfucker,
So what is the narrative you're talking about?
So
What are you trying to say, Todd?
the narrative I'm talking about is,
English, motherfucker,
and I was just having this conversation with my wife, literally. So
Right.
because we try to have a
The
meeting
narrative I'm
before the
talking
podcast,
about
which
is about 10 minutes before.
and I was
or
just having this
15
conversation
or
with my wife,
5.
literally.
I was gonna say
Because we try to have a meeting before the podcast,
3 to
5 minutes,
Which is about 10 minutes before or 15
so-
or 5.
it
I was gonna
gives
say
you
because this last one was about 3 to 5
this
minutes.
title automatically gives you the sense that so
I have
it gives you
an issue.
this title
I don't.
automatically gives you the sense.
The thing
that
is,
be an understanding
have
of what a narrative is in
issue.
a direction of what I'm talking about and how I'm talking
and I
about
don't.
it the thing is not a rabbit hole moment. However, your understanding of what a narrative is, for those that don't know what the rabbit hole moment is, trust me, it gets live.
We can't go there right now.
Yeah, we definitely can't go there. But understanding the narrative that I'm talking about, it goes back to the beginning of what I just said at the beginning of the podcast. A lot of people have been talking about understanding the narrative. It's like you got to understand the narrative. And people that typically say that want your attention. Because a lot of us don't understand the narrative. We so emotionally caught up in trying to eliminate something that bothers us that we only understand one narrative. How to get out of the current narrative we in the quickest way possible. Instead of having a mindset of how do I build myself up so that I'm an expert at understanding what this narrative is, or catching the narrative and being able to profit off of that narrative. Profit.
So let me ask.
Profit.
Right. Let me ask this question. So is it very similar to how, like you get the little flyer or email or ad or whatever, like they're always sending out something regardless of what your current situation is, but they're always sending you something about the National Debt Relief Program and how they can get you, into one lump sum payment versus multiple payments and all that stuff.
911, what is your emergency? I hear shots! Okay, ma'am, calm down. What kind of shots?
Shots fired. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
One of those, and I'm glad you said that. Let's talk about that for a second. A lot of us that get our mail, we get this junk mail, or we get mail of solicitation, or whatever the case may be.
Right, all the time.
And the narrative in the solicitation is based off of inflation. So what's the emotional attachment that comes with that? A lot of people they know that are dealing with the higher inflation rate, they're dealing with debt. They're dealing with debt. And my dog is acting a fool right now. Lay down. Thank you. They're dealing with debt. So with that increase of the dollar's not worth, it's not net worth, it's not worth. The increase of the dollar's not worth. I need that on the sweatshirt. It's been a problem for a lot of people because more people, you're spending more money on the things that you need.
Yeah.
Versus the things that you want. And now people have this mental mindset of buying a lot of things that they want versus the things that they need. And we're not prioritizing and taking care of ourselves. And I'm not saying that we should judge people based off that. No, what I'm saying is this is the narrative that is going on right now in our country. It may not be going on in your life. It may not be going on in my life, but it's going on in other people's lives because it now affects you because now you feel some type of way about somebody.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's very interesting because, there's so much with that.
Hold on. Say that. Keep your comment. Keep that thought. I got to respond to this comment. Who is RG Outdoors? Please let me know. Yes, I have a podcast. I've been doing it for 4 years. What's good? And I appreciate the support. I really do. But go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
No, because with, like you were saying about the inflation and people going out and purchasing, some are purchasing everything that they need and they're still falling further into debt, where there's others who are purchasing the wants and they may or may not be in debt as much. But my gosh, this inflation has increased 4 to 5 times this year. It's insane.
Hold up. This is not. No, it's not. Hey, bro. Rob, you need to add me on Facebook. I've been seeing your profile pop along, and I was going to send you a message, but I've been busy the last week and a half. Yes, we need to talk, brother. I haven't talked to you in so long. Wow. Yes, bro, you ain't even had to put the squadron in. I know. Wow. Yeah, you can't. Can you see the comments? No, you can't because you're on Facebook. Never mind.
Right.
But yeah, brother. Hit me up. Anyway. So yeah, babe. I think.
It's disheartening.
It is, but I think this is the thing that I need people to be aware of, because on my podcast is going to be that eye-opening moment, because that's what I said. I want y'all to understand that. Every podcast is going to be an eye-opening moment. It's not going to be just comedy. It's going to be eye-opening moments, because that's what I want to provide throughout the podcast. I just don't want to have a podcast where I try to be funny all the time. I mean, I'm going to be, but that's not the point. The point is it's being able to readily understand what people are going through and how people are playing into that, and how you can capitalize off of them playing into that for it to not affect you. So going forward, this whole idea of controlling the narrative, understanding the narrative is based off of the emotional track record of how people have habits. Now, there's good sides to narratives and bad sides to narrative. Bad sides to narratives are, damn, I didn't want to have this conversation on my podcast, but I'm going to. The bad side of narratives is almost like how they changed the rap industry in 91 to make it driven on the sense to where more people need to fill jails because they're going to fund those jails. And what I mean by they is figure out the exact conversation in which I just said. I'm not going to point out who they is, but what I'm going to say is this. If they wanted to change the dynamic of how rap music came out, to control a narrative, to fund something that needed to be controlled, because their narrative is to control a certain group of people, they had to basically attach themselves to the most money-making entertainment, venue that's out there, which is hip-hop music at the time, back in 91. So this is how people do certain shit to control the narrative that changes your mental understanding of how you need to do things. Some people, they can use the excuse, oh, I never grew up this way or never grew up that way. Yes, it's not even an excuse. It's a fact.
Right.
It's not even an excuse anymore. It's a fact. People grew up certain ways to where they don't understand financial management or financial awareness or understanding. They find out later in life. And then when they find out later in life, it's like, I gotta teach my kids.
Right. And
I didn't mean to sound like Denzel Washington when I said that, but that's the truth. Right. I gotta teach my kids.
And they find out at such either a pivotal moment in their life or at a time when they're like, my God, why didn't I learn this back then? Because I would have, and excuse my language, but I would have my shit together.
Well, it's the truth.
And I'd be able to, lend that information to my kids for them to understand it, to lend it to their kids and so on.
Throw them foes up. Banks in the building. What's good, Mr. Banks?
Uh-oh. What up, Banks?
Happy holidays, brother. So, absolutely. Absolutely. And something I need the listeners to know before we do this commercial break real quick. And I'll still be on camera. I'll just be muted. I got to do a commercial break. That's the change in the podcast. I have to do a commercial break. Y'all know the commercial break. Y'all have heard it if you've been on the podcast. But I'm going to say this before we go to commercial break. We have to be that divide in the highway that grabs the attention of people to say, stop doing this shit. Yeah. It's not okay. It is not okay. So we'll be back in 2 minutes because I got to do commercials, y'all, and I can play mine or I can do other people's shit. But I'm doing mine because I'm promoting mine because that's what's going to get played on Apple and Spotify and everything else. I've been doing this for 4 years. Anyway, we'll be back, y'all. Peace.
Hello, my name is Cedric, and along with my beautiful wife, Connie, we'll be hosting my brand new podcast, That's What I Said. I'm a retired Navy veteran that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and we'll discuss how I cope with the mental illness through comedy and discussion. It's a podcast that will talk about everything from cryptocurrency to comedy. If we're worrying about the dollar going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's still a dollar, guess what? The value of that means absolutely nothing. Cryptocurrency in itself is the future of money. From spirituality to cannabis. To have cannabis on the Schedule 1 list is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It makes absolutely no sense. If it's a seed that can be planted and it has healing properties in it, why the hell is it in Schedule 1? Last time I checked, cocaine don't have healing property in it. From interracial relationships, I don't have a problem with people talking about interracial relationships. People try to talk bad about my interracial relationship just to think that they can get under my skin. I mean, really, it don't bother me. I mean, let's not make, call a spade a spade. But if you have a problem with someone that's in love, it shouldn't matter the race of the person. It's a mental illness in our community. The problem is people want to put labels on it. Everybody wants to put color on everything. And as soon as you put color on it, it gets treated differently. The money gets treated funny. Because if it's dealing with Asians, guess what? It's going to take a longer process unless those leaders step up and get into the president's face or U.S. leaders' face and say, this is a problem in our community. Not leaving one topic unturned. If you want to hear real authentic conversation, interviews, and comedy, please take time to listen to That's What I Said, because I said what I said.
Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. Listen to That's What I Said, available on your favorite podcast platform.
That's What He Said with Cedric D. Sanders.
So, I'm going to be by myself for a second because that's what I got to do. But just before we went on break, my brother Body did a comment that was exactly what I was going to get into, and I'm loving the fact that he's saying this because it's so true. Our generations have gotten smarter throughout the years. I'm not saying that our older generation didn't get smarter, but things weren't as expensive as they are now compared to what the dollar was back then to where it is now. And yeah, what they had to them was an upgrade. If we go back and live in those houses, we're going to be like, yeah, we got to upgrade this. We got to change all this. We got to put some USBs, and that basement needs to be, resealed and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's like so many different things that we could think of that has evolved in 30, 40, 50 years that costs more money. That is just ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. And it's like the little things don't make sense. The big things make a lot of sense because there's always controversy, I think, in the bigger things. But the smaller things just doesn't make sense because those small things equal what? Big shit, right? So I think in the evolution of all people trying to understand how can we win at this game that is so difficult and so hard and it's just a pain in the ass. It's like, yeah, I might have a great job and I might make a lot of money and I might do this. I'm doing good for myself. But it's like, do you have a heart enough to actually feel like these people over here are struggling? And because I make more money than them, I'm not struggling like them.
Yeah, but why not share that knowledge?
Well, why not share the knowledge that I've learned because I have the money and because the banks are talking to me now? How can I help them get there? It's like I want to be that bridge that gets people to that position to where they can open their own private reserve account or their own asset account that makes money for them because you need your money to do exactly what the banks are doing.
The narrative is not even in the conversation because you don't meet the qualifications. That's the sad part.
I was just about to say, the majority of Americans do not meet that qualification.
You may be good with money.
That is sad.
You may be good with the money that you have.
Right.
But there's
anybody
always
can be good with money.
I'm gonna put it to you like this: nobody on this planet that we live in supposed to be broke.
We should not be.
No, we should. No. We're going down there. We're going down there. Where's that button at? Because short rabbit hole. I swear it. I'm not going to be long. The problem is this. I remember many years ago when I was in the Navy that you had to have your finances together. You did not want bill collectors calling your job.
Hell no.
That is the one place you don't want your bill collectors calling you, is where you work at if you in the military.
You sure right.
You just want to talk about the most embarrassing shit. You did an oath to serve your country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. But you got Radio Shack calling saying, we're about to pick up them couches because you late on your payment, bro. You get paid every 2 weeks.
Rent-A-Center, not Radio Shack.
Radio Shack, Rent-A-Center. Yeah, that's what I meant, Rent-A-Center.
Radio Shack coming to get them speakers that you got in the car.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? I didn't mean to do that.
My bad, y'all.
Continue.
Continue.
Please.
So, continue. And she was live earlier today, by the way. I was on her live. And she said she's going to call us tomorrow. Anyway, so this is what happens live. Sorry, y'all. So what was I just saying? Catch me up.
Oh my goodness.
What?
You were talking about the creditors contacting you.
Yeah, you don't want the creditors. When I learned, okay, yeah, sorry. So I learned many years ago when I was in the military, and I say that like I've been retired for 10 years, but anyway, that is not just the one thing that you want to learn, but you want to understand that if I don't want to have bill collectors calling, what is it that I need to do so that I can survive and live? And people didn't understand that this is the conversation. These are the conversations you needed to have with yourself. But see, we weren't having those conversations back then because there wasn't a reason to have those conversations. Regardless if you understand money or understood responsibility with money or not. Some of us learned as we go. Some of us didn't want to sit there with no money in the bank.
Right.
And it wasn't about flossing. It wasn't about having a fly ass ride with some beat in the back. It wasn't about that. It was about being comfortable and guess what? Living life. And guess how the way I live life? Having a car that got the beat and the rims on it and the beat in the back. Because that's the thing that I like. That's like my hobby. It's like when I show up, I'm proud of my life. I'm appreciative of my life. I'm playing. As soon as I pull up to the club, I'm playing some Tech 9. Because I rep Kansas City. Everybody know that. But how do you do that if you're not making the money you should be making and you living through other people?
Yeah, you can't not have the mindset of keeping up with the Joneses and living beyond your means. You can't.
But see, it's hard.
So many people do.
And it's hard when people say, you don't understand the struggle or you don't understand this and it's like, no, we understand. I'm just trying to get this narrative into your understanding so that you can understand this narrative was brought up on you before you even thought about it.
Exactly. And there's no judgment on what you're doing, how you living, or any of that. It's trying to instill in you a new way of thinking.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something, y'all.
You have got to change your mindset. Period.
Absolutely. I'm going to give you a secret. The train is coming in for the stop. I'm giving y'all a secret. Right
I'm giving y'all a secret. This is no BS. This is not even comedy. I'm giving y'all a true secret. If y'all haven't been following me for the last, say, 3 years, you don't know how much of a nerd I am when it comes to crypto. I have technically analyzed crypto to the point where I was analyzing it wrong because of the narrative. I didn't even know what the narrative was. I didn't think there was a narrative in crypto. Of course there is.
Right.
There's a narrative in fucking the stock market. I just had this, I'm not going to even lie to y'all. I just had this realization recently. I literally just had this realization with the last 24 hours. There is a narrative in everything we do. If you want to get on top of something, or you want to become rich, or you want to become wealthy, or you want to become a very great leader, you want to become a CEO, you want to create a business, understand the narrative. And that's vague as shit, right? Understanding the narrative. You've been saying that shit. No. Listen to what I'm saying. Understand the narrative that is being presented to you. Not the narrative that you need to capitalize, because that's in your back pocket.
Appreciate that, body.
Yeah, facts. It is a new way of thinking. Period. So check this out. This is the secret. I had listened for I got myself back into crypto about 7 months ago. And I got back into my research mode. I'm back into my fast-paced research, where it took me about 5 or 6 months to get there. Because I had fell off. I've been concentrating on my podcast. Let's be real. I'm transparent. I was slacking on my crypto. I knew about it. I had knowledge about it. I knew when it was moving. I just wasn't doing nothing with it. And you know why I wasn't doing nothing with it? It had nothing to do with I didn't have enough money to put into it. Because you can have $100 to put into crypto. $100. You can make 10,000. You can flip that 10,000 to 50.
Yeah, you shifted your focus.
I shifted my focus. Absolutely. It was a way of thinking that I had to do to focus on what is the narrative of my podcast and how do I move it forward. This is that transparent moment. I got to get a button for transparent moments because I have them every podcast. It was that moment that I had to realize, look, I can concentrate on this podcast all day long. But really, what is it that I really want to concentrate on or pay attention to in addition to my podcast? You can't be one track minded, because you can't think, okay, I create a podcast. I think about that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No, half the time I'm up in my fucking bedroom. A lot of that's PTSD and anxiety, but that ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm motivated about my podcast because this is the opportunity for me to actually not even focus so much on talking to people. I'm looking into a camera. I don't have a problem with that. When I'm sitting in front of people, there's certain things that I have to do so that I can be around people. Why am I having this conversation with you? Because it's the same thing we do with money. We make excuses as to why we don't move forward with the things that we know we can prosper in, because we have a gift in it. We choose to make excuses in that. But the same thing when it comes to money, we make excuses as to why this, why that. We know why we're broke. I wanted to go to that fucking concert. 85 South was coming down. No, I'm going. And it's no shade to 85 South. Let me get that straight. It ain't no shade to 85 South, because I love everything they do. Respect everything they do. They grinded from the bottom of wilding out to do what they doing right now. But you know what? They mastered the narrative.
Right.
They was already doing it. Why not get paid to do the shit on a podcast and still do what y'all knew we was doing? Y'all knew we was doing Wild 'N Out. We still there.
Right. And to go to that concert, you need a whole new fit. You need to make sure that, if you taking somebody with you, that they ticket is purchased and all that stuff.
All the things that get people attached to the current reason why they stay broke. Emotions. You have I have a connection with them. I love watching. I'll be 50 next week. I will go and listen to every 95 South podcast.
85 South.
85. I said 85, 95. Shh, I'm on 95. Never mind.
Right.
85 South. I will listen to every one of those podcasts because it's entertainment to me. You have to be able to understand there's a difference between education and entertainment. It only begins with E. It only begins with E.
Yeah, you're right.
Guess what else ends with E? Begins with E. End. A lot of people are ending that cycle because they're trying to find shortcuts.
Yeah.
You can entertain.
Everybody wants a get rich or a...
Yeah, they're trying to find a get rich quick scheme, but they're not understanding. You can still be entertained.
Yeah,
you have to.
They're trying to
part of your
come up.
It's not even
best thing smoking.
It's not even just that. We want to be entertained because it soothes us. It's like I like to laugh. I love to laugh. I love to make people laugh.
Right.
And it's like being able to just listen to people that like to make people laugh or make other situations funny. To me, that's therapy. I'd rather laugh at this shit than cry about it.
What's your famous saying that you've done? Pure, I don't think it's been every podcast, but you've said it numerous times to somebody gonna cry in the car.
You gonna cry in the car.
Just saying.
You gonna cry in the car.
So, look, we have to take responsibility for some shit that we do, but at the same time, we can't get mad at the fact that other people are excelling because they realize that they were just not even just lazy, they were just not taking care of themselves the way they wanted to.
Yeah. And now that they've figured it out, you're trying to emulate what they did to get to where they are now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is the thing. The secret is this. And I'm going to talk about finances for a second. This is financial. Every stock exchange, every cryptocurrency, every investment has a narrative. You just have to capitalize on the narrative. Capitalization is being able to be early in that process of growth. Every stock, every investment, you will hear about it on social media.
Right.
And the problem is like there's a lot of people out there that are trying to get popular on social media, but they ain't doing shit that's even in the narrative of getting popular. And that's okay, because You know what? It may become the narrative.
I was just about to say, you got to research what that narrative is.
You know why crypto became the narrative? Because Bitcoin was the narrative.
Yep.
Cryptocurrency became
it was the biggest thing smoking.
Cryptocurrency was the narrative because Bitcoin was the new narrative. It was not even the stock exchange narrative. It was the narrative of how the fuck is a digital currency worth $30,000? How the hell did I not hear about this when it was 2 cents?
Right.
You know why? Because everybody said that was a scam.
Yep.
Everybody said it was a scam.
It's funny. that you bring that up right now as we're having this conversation, because if you think about it, and I think we talked about this before we even started, the narrative is what's trending. Follow the trend.
Absolutely.
Those are going to be the next narratives and things that are being discussed and talked about, and it's the next new hype.
Absolutely. Exactly. People need to know what JOB means. It means just over broke. We need to learn how to make our own money. Absolutely. Bruh, where's my explosion button? Like, right there.
Yep.
You don't need to work for somebody. You need to be the boss.
Yep.
We were not put on this planet to suffer. We were put on here to survive. And if you're to survive, you don't suffer.
And excel and exceed.
And everybody wants to put it on religion, and everybody wants to put it on this. No, you love to do something else. You ain't in the church 24 hours a day. It's like, oh, I went to school to be a veterinarian, or I went to school to be a cashier. Bitch, they ain't got fucking schools to be a cashier. That's the shit they want you to do.
But you know what's funny? That you bring that up.
I'm burping on camera. I mean, on air. I'm sorry, y'all.
Is that anybody can start out as a cashier. It's how you take that to the next level.
It's how you cash out.
And go into a financial management or a business
management. It's how you cash out.
I'm just saying.
It's how you cash out. Hey, I'm speaking to anybody that's the damn Walmart cashier right now. It's how you cash out. You want a blueprint how to cash out? I'm not gonna give you a blueprint. I'll give you one understanding, one thing. I'll give you two. Mark my words. You said I said two. Hold me to that. I said two.
You always go over.
Okay, so here's one. Yeah, I'm an asshole. So here's one. If you understand the narrative, what's keeping you from capitalizing on it? Okay. What I'm saying is this. I love crypto. I talk about crypto on my podcast. I talk about crypto for many months and years. I will tell you this. If you can dollar cost average $100 every month in this bull market, 9 chances out of 10, that money is going to flip. And I ain't talking about investing on Cash App. I'm not talking about investing on Robinhood. What I'm saying is actually taking the time that you like to listen to entertainment. Take that time to research somebody that understands crypto. And just write it down. Don't get excited about it. Just write it down. Because guess what? When you do that search, other people gonna pop up. Click on their page. Look at their followers. Look at their video. What they talking about. If you don't understand what they're talking about, write it down. I need to YouTube this video. I need to type this in the search bar. I need to understand what he's talking about on this. Or you can listen to this podcast because I talk about a lot about that shit on crypto. I talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you this. The podcast we do in 2024, there will be a section where I talk specifically about crypto. No, I'm not trying to gain followers. No, I'm not trying to gain listeners. I'm trying to gain people that want to understand this is where the poor people get rich. This is where the people that have a few dollars, about 100, can invest in something with the risk that they may lose it,
Because this is not financial advice. All I'm saying is any investment, you may lose it.
Absolutely.
But you got to understand the market that you're in. You got to pay attention to social media. You got to understand what's trending.
Yep.
Just like my wife said.
What's trending is the narrative.
What's trending is the narrative. I guarantee you, if you type cryptocurrency in Twitter,
oh my,
you're going to get some underground cryptocurrency that's getting ready to come out that's probably going to blow the fuck up, but you don't understand the narrative.
Right. And with crypto, I don't know how many times you've said this and I've said this. You have got to do your own research.
You got to.
You can listen to other people talk about it, but you have to do your own research because you have to understand it for your own self. Period.
See, this is the thing that upsets me a lot of times when it comes to talking about cryptocurrency, because a lot of people say it's a scam. A lot of people say it's not a reliable source of passive income. Passive income is actually not active passive, it's passive. It's making money while you sleep. Yeah, you may lose some money because that cryptocurrency that you invested in may lose value because of something that's going on in the country concerning cryptocurrency that you should be paying attention to because you're invested in it. Because you see, this is a long conversation that I wanted to have, but I gotta say it. When you put your money to work, you gotta watch your money. It's like a pimp that watches his opportunity that he has. It's an investment. A pimp has an investment. If I want to make more money, I gotta have investments.
Right, you have to have multiple.
So you gotta pimp your money out. If you can't pimp your money out to make money, then you're not trying to be rich, or you're not trying to be financially aware that you're supposed to put your money to work. Because that's the problem that we have to see. Look, damn it, God damn it. We've been on for 52 minutes. Well, probably about 57. And if you would like to tip the podcast, please make sure that you go to the description and click the Streamlabs thing that tells you to tip, and you can tip via PayPal or major credit card or debit card. Damn it, I didn't want to have this conversation. So
do you need to save it for next year and start the new year off with it?
God damn it. I might just do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I promise you that. That's the episode that we're gonna kick off 2024 with. Because and this is how passionate I am about cryptocurrency. If a cryptocurrency can get to the heights of $40,000, one coin, one digital currency, $40,000, right? What is your 401k doing right now? I mean, just think about it. I'm not pressuring you into...
What has it done all year? Tank.
Yeah, what has it done all year? I mean,
Tank.
I'm not trying to persuade you into it, but all I'm saying is if you could educate yourself on something that you could possibly manage, I don't know. I mean, I think there's opportunity there. I'm gonna look at these comments real quick, and then we're gonna bounce up out of here because I'm not gonna give what I was gonna give. I gotta give number 2. I do promise y'all number 2. Hold on. I'm gonna read this comment, and then I'm gonna give you number 2. How do people work 8 hours on someone else's dream and not go home and work on their own dream? Where that explosion at?
Dang, buddy, that was twice in one episode, man.
I gotta get my towel. I gotta get my preacher towel. Where my preacher towel at? Because I can get it.
I don't know where you did.
It's over here. Y'all can get the preacher towel at the merch store.
Ced's preacher towel.
That's what I said. Gotta get that preacher towel, y'all. So, real quick.
the second thing is I've learned this in the last like maybe 4 years with cryptocurrency. It is not promised. However, how are people getting rich off of cryptocurrency if it's not promised? It's because they understand the narrative.
Yep.
And the narrative right now is faster transactions. The narrative is privacy. The narrative is betting. The narrative is gaming. Now, what you do with that is up to you. What I'm about to do with it is going to probably change my life. Because what I'm trying to tell y'all is that there's always risk and reward. It's how much risk are you willing to risk to validate the reward that you got. People play the lottery, right? Risk and reward.
Yep.
What's the difference? You still control the narrative. What you got for the people before we get up out of here?
Man, this was a banging episode, I must say. What I got for the people, happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We will be back in 2024 on a different scale. So be prepared for the come up in 2024. I know I'm looking forward to it. Shoot. Yeah. Hug and contact your loved ones as much as you possibly can. I'm out.
Facts. Hey, I appreciate that, body. Peace and love to everybody. I hope everybody enjoys their holidays. If you don't enjoy the holidays, please take the opportunity to understand that people are going to spend time with their family. And if you're not spending time with your family, maybe you should take time to spend time with your family. Real talk. This is an opportunity, I think, that I need to tell everybody one thing. I'm going to be 50 years old on Monday. I need them 5 O's in the air on Monday. Make sure you send your brother some love. Yeah, I'm going to be 50 on Christmas Day. I appreciate, man, you just don't know, man. I can just say that Eloise and my father, they raised a good son. Somebody that actually wants to be able to just sit there and say, look, y'all, I want y'all to be educated in the things that I'm learning, because why keep the secret? Why keep the secret? A good leader don't never keep a secret. I'm up out of here in about 20 seconds, y'all. I'm going to say this, man. I love y'all, man. We're going to have a good 2024. Catch me the first Tuesday in the 2024 new year. I love y'all. I'm out.
That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut. Deadass.
Thanks for listening to another episode of That's What I Said with Cedric Sanders. Make sure to like and subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode.
Bitch, what?